We begin by acknowledging that we gather on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and recognize that this land is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. As we honor our own history of survival, we do so with deep respect for the Indigenous peoples whose truths continue to shape this land. I also want to recognize the presence of our clergy, whose prayers and guidance anchor us in this moment of remembrance. Before we begin, I invite you to join me in a moment of silence in memory of the martyrs of 1915 and in solidarity with all peoples who seek justice in the face of genocide. Thank you. Please join me in honoring the national anthems of Canada, Armenia, and the Republic of Artsakh.
Free.
Please take your seats. 110 years ago, 1.5 million Armenians were targeted for extermination. Today, we remember them, not only with grief, but with purpose, because the injustice did not end in 1915. It continued with the 2020 war, followed by a brutal 9-month blockade and the heartbreaking exodus of over 100,000 Armenians forced to flee their ancestral homeland in Artsakh. And today, with the unlawful detention of Armenian prisoners by Azerbaijan, violations of international law that demand our attention, we are here to say denial is not just forgetting the past, it enables injustice in the present, and we will not be silent. We gather today to affirm recognition matters, accountability matters. Our voices will not be silenced. I would now like to invite our dear friend, former Speaker of the House, Mr. David Warner, to deliver his remarks. Throughout his career and continuing into retirement, Mr. Warner has been a steadfast voice of solidarity, standing with our community in the call for truth, justice, and human dignity. His public service and unwavering support for our shared cause have long embodied these values. It is our honor to welcome him.
Well, thank you. My wife will be happy to know I'm retired. I didn't know. Reverend Fathers and distinguished members of Toronto City Council and other dignitaries, I want to thank you first for the opportunity of being here. This is an important occasion. This is an era of fake news. So I'm going to talk facts. Fact, 110 years ago, 1,500,000 Armenians were murdered. Fact, Turkey was the perpetrator. And a fact for the government of Turkey, we will continue to demand justice. You can twist the truth. You can lie about the truth, but you can't kill the truth. Canada and nations around the world recognize the Armenian genocide. And it is time for Turkey to own up to what it did. It is time to not only say, we did it, we're sorry, but reparations. It's time to return land to where it belongs. It's time for Artsakh to be Armenian. It's time for Azerbaijan to withdraw from Artsakh. We have remained steadfast in the search for justice, and will continue to do so. And why? Because you can't deny truth forever. You've got to own up to what you've done when it's wrong. I don't know what on earth is keeping Turkey from standing up and saying what is right. That the truth will haunt them forever, because we will haunt them forever. The truth doesn't die, and Armenians don't die. Armenians will never die. And I, as a pledge that I made 45 years ago, will remain walking with you, standing with you, being in front of the Turkish embassy, the Turkish consulate, wherever there is an opportunity to have a voice for justice heard, I will be there. And I want to say in closing that Armenians have friends around the globe. And I think as we continue our search for justice, that we continue to connect with our friends around the world and make our voice a global one. Justice will not be denied. Justice will be ours, and I will be there with you forever.
Thank you, Mr. Warner. I would now like to invite Ms. Jean Yip, MP for Scarborough Agincourt, to deliver Prime Minister and the leader of the Liberal Party of Canada, Mark Carney's message on this solemn occasion. She will be joined by Ms. Maggie Chi, Liberal Party candidate for Don Valley North.
Barev, what a wonderful sight it is to see Canadian flags and Armenian flags. And Artsakh flags. So I'd like to say a very sunny and happy good morning, and to the members of the Armenian community, esteemed clergy, elected officials, and fellow candidates. I am Jean Yip, the federal Liberal candidate for Scarborough Agincourt, home of the largest Armenian community in the GTA, as well as through redistribution of the borders. It is now also home to the Armenian Community Center of Toronto in Scarborough Agincourt. I'm very pleased to have my colleague, the Liberal candidate of Don Valley North, Maggie Chi, here with me today. I would like to share the statement of the Liberal Party of Canada leader and Mark Carney on the 110th anniversary commemoration of the Armenian Genocide. This April 24th, I joined the tens of thousands of Armenian Canadians and millions more around the world to mark the 110th anniversary commemoration of the Armenian Genocide. Today, my thoughts are in solemn remembrance of the 1.5 million Armenian victims who perished in these senseless atrocities, systematically planned and carried out by the Ottoman Empire. My thoughts are also with the survivors who had the courage and perseverance to overcome incredible hardships, to rebuild their lives, their communities, and their institutions. Despite the passage of 110 years, this genocide remains actively denied by its perpetrators. Armenian people continue to face persecution and oppression. Most recently, this was tragically exemplified by the forced displacement of over 120,000 indigenous Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh in September 2023, following months of an unlawful blockade, which deprived them of their most basic human rights. As we observe this solemn day, we remember those who were lost and we commit to building a stronger, more tolerant Canada that is free of discrimination and hate. Thank you.
Now I would like to read the statement from the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, the Honourable Pierre Poilievre. Today we pause to commemorate the 110th anniversary of the Medziaren, the Armenian Genocide. With deep sadness, we remember the 1.5 million innocent Armenians who were systematically forced from their homes and marched to their deaths by Ottoman authorities in 1915. Though the world failed to heed the warnings at the time, we now know that the Ottoman Empire launched a deliberate campaign aimed at ethnically cleansing and exterminating the Armenian people. Yet shamefully, more than a century later, we have failed to learn from the painful lessons of the Armenian Genocide. Today, the Armenian people continue to suffer. Over the last several years, more than 100,000 Armenians, including women, children, and the elderly, have been targeted and displaced from Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenians have a right to exist and live in security in their ancestral homeland. On this anniversary, we mourn the innocent lives who were unjustly murdered in the 20th century and in the present day, and call for long overdue justice for the Armenian people. Just like the survivors of the Armenian Genocide, we know that the Armenian people will endure and their spirit will once again triumph over the genocidal impulse that has sought to destroy them. It is incumbent on all freedom-loving nations to stand with them and ensure that these crimes are never again repeated.
Yes, so it's the 24th of April, and it's the remembrance of the Armenian Genocide, and we are in Toronto, Canada, and we have listened to some speakers, and thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Always want more, make sure you're worth more.
Good morning, dear friends.
And I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please thumbs up, leave your thoughts below, watch another video.
And honored to be on this stage.